Evening live Shopping Sherlock training. Normally, this is our mindset training for Saturday night. My name is Brandon Ivey. I am a global out of Los Angeles, California. And tonight's topic is going to be grand openings. Grand openings. We're going to put a lot of emphasis on that this year. And we're piggybacking off of last week's training. We talked about, getting plugged into the system, doing your part, taking control of the things that you have control over. See, a lot of times in life, there are things that we just have no control over and we can't help. And that's just part of life. And how we excel in that type of environment is based on how we react and how we respond to the things that are outside of our control. But the things that are in your control, you want to make sure that you are in full control and taking advantage of it. 80% of your success is in your ability to learn discipline, consistency, and showing up. That's it. I'll tell you right now, that is where 97% of the population fails. That part. The things that they actually have control over, but they blame their failure on the 3% of things that are outside of their control. Right? Understand that? Most of the things that they fail at is the things that they are in full control over, and they love to point the finger at somebody else. Somebody didn't do this for me. This circumstance happened. That happened. Things outside of their control is the reason why they're not successful. No. The reason why you're not successful are the things that you have control over that you are not willing to do. So that's what we went over last week. And tonight, we're going to go over one of those things that you do have full control over. And that is taking advantage of the presentations and the trainings and the system that we have in place. So when we talked about doing your part, plugging into the system last week, we talked about getting involved in our websites, knowing what our schedule is, being a professional. And I think next week I'm going to do back up the mindset training. I haven't done it in over a month now. In fact, the last one was in December of 2014. So it's getting to the point to that time for me to go back to the personal development side. And we'll do that next week. But for this week, we're going to talk about the grand opening. So you already know their website, ceostraining.info, powerteamsherlock.com, teamofhope.com, sherlockpresents.com, even sherlockglobalacademy.com. Know the system. Then you want to focus on enrolling your first 2 people and getting promoted to star affiliate. You have control over this. Somebody questioned me on this last week and said, well, Brandon, you talked about, doing the things you have control over. Then you said, sign up 2 people. I don't have control over that. I don't have control over if people say yes or no. That's correct. But you do have control over how many people you actually speak to, because it's a law of numbers. The more people you talk to, the better results you're going to get. Not everybody's going to say yes to you. Get used to it. In fact, more people are going to say no to you than say yes. You want to get the no's out of the way and get to the yeses as fast as possible. So you do have control over enrolling your first 2 people. It's just based on how many people are you willing to say no to you before you get to the yeses. And then acquire your first 200 Sherlock invites. You have control over that. If you've been in this business for longer than 2 weeks and you haven't done 200 Sherlock invites, you are not doing the business correctly. You can do this in one night. Pull out your cell phone, open up your app, click on invite friends, choose text through your phone, and go through the list of everybody in your phone book, your cell phone. I'm sure you have more than 200 people in there. If not, the next thing you go to the Facebook, and then the next thing you go to the emails. Get your 200 Sherlock invites out of the way. Again, it's law of numbers. If just 20%, if just 10% of those 200 Sherlock invites download the app, that's 20 Sherlock customers for you. Why is that important? Because to become the top positions of the company, you need to have at least 20 Sherlock customers. And if they're actively using the Sherlock, You're now making more than $40 a month, which covers your monthly $34.95 membership, which means nobody should ever drop the $34.95 because they say they can't afford it. Just the customers alone pays for that. So you have full control over this. This is why I emphasize to do your part of the training. Now I want to talk about the compensation on why and how to get your two. The way you're going to get your two is by taking advantage of grand openings. Now, I'll share with you a little bit of story. When I first got started in this industry, it was 1998, and it was the end of November. In fact, I was graduating from college December 98. I didn't finish in 4 years. It took me 4.5 years. I needed an extra semester. So I was graduating that December. That November I got started, and I remember it was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was cold and there was snow all over the ground. Now, I'm a California kid. Only time I ever saw snow was if we went up to the mountains, went up to Big Bear, Mount Baldy, Crestline. I never saw snow land on the ground and stay there. So anytime it got cold and snowed, I was hunkered up in the house. But I remember it was a Thursday night. And that Thursday night, my buddy, his name is Robert Brown, a Morehouse kid like me, drove around town and picked all of us up, packed us in the car. We went down to a hotel in College Park, Georgia, by the airport. And when we were there, I saw everybody was dressed up in suits and ties. I said, this is my type of environment. This is where I want to be. I'm about to graduate. I had to either look for a job or get into business. And actually, I was already offered a job my senior year, so that the moment I graduated, I would have a job waiting for me. It's going to be down in Augusta, Georgia. And something happened 3 months before I was supposed to graduate. That company, I think it was Kraft, I remember it was Kraft, laid off that entire division. So the person who hired me lost his job. I didn't have a job waiting for me when I was to graduate. So I got my first experience of corporate America before I even got started. So I was a little bit open to a home-based business. And I went to that meeting and got started, got all excited. And then this is where coachability comes into place. They said, listen, Brandon, next, it was a Saturday, the following Saturday, we are going to have a private business reception at your house. And at the time, I did live in a house, and I had two roommates, one that lives upstairs and another one downstairs with me. And I said, cool, I'll do a private business reception. Today, we call that a grand opening because we can take advantage of the internet. But back then, there was no internet. There was no webinars, go to meetings and click meetings, any of that. You had to actually leave your home and go to a meeting to see a presentation. So they said, this is what we want you to do. First said, make a list of everybody that you know. And then we're going to go through and call all of these people on three-way and invite them to your PBR, private business reception. I immediately said, no, no, no. I said, I don't need you to get on the phone with the people that I know because they don't know you. They know me. And if I tell them to show up, they're going to show up. Had a party at my house this past week. Invited like 13, 14 people and 40 to 50 showed up. So I'm not going to have a problem packing the house. So automatically, I was not coachable. I thought that I knew better and that my way was going to work. All right? Automatically off the bat. I didn't listen. They said all you need is water and maybe some cookies. I had a full buffet out. I rented all these chairs. I had a bunch of, since I didn't want to do three-way calls, I had a couple of Spelman girls running all over campus and not just the AUC, Atlanta University Center, but all over Atlanta. Phipps Plaza, College Park, Greenbrier, Lenox Mall, flyers all over the place about this business reception at my home. I had so many flyers out that people in the company that were not a part of our team saw them and even contacted, hey, who's this guy that's doing this meeting? you know, Now this was the first and last time in my entire network marketing career that I ever did flyers. Not that that doesn't work. It just that I had a bad experience after spending all that money and doing all that and all the time and effort. Because remember, I was a political science major, so I was used to, doing leaflets, canvassing the neighborhoods, getting the word out. Like my father right now, who's running for Laverne City Council. So we've got getting the message out, got flyers and banners all over the place. So I thought I was going to bring that experience to the business, that idea. On the day of my PBR, only 4 people showed up. Myself, my roommate, my sponsor, and the person doing the presentation. I was devastated, devastated after all that. And then 3 hours later, all of a sudden, everybody shows up to my house for the party, but nobody wanted to come for the business presentation. So I decided maybe I need to listen to these guys after I decided I wasn't going to quit. Because that's also a moment where a lot of people quit back in those days. If they didn't have a successful, we called it was your launch party. If they didn't have a successful launch, I thought, oh man, this is gonna be too hard. I'm quitting. I need to get my money back. That was an average person's thinking back then. And it was hitting my head too. Maybe this isn't for me. If I can't get the people that I know to even take a look at this business, then how am I gonna make this happen? That crossed my mind, but my ego came into play. I never failed at anything in my life. And when I say fail, meaning that I might have run into a brick wall and I never gave up. I kept going until I conquered it. So I'm going to allow this to hold me down? I don't think so. My ego prevented me from quitting. But I also made the decision to listen and follow the system. These people are making money. I want to make money like them. I think I need to listen to them. So I did. And within 1 week, I hit the first position of the company, following the system. So, fast forward 16, 17 years later, and here we are taking advantage of technology. And since not everybody lives in Los Angeles, if I were to have a Tuesday or Thursday night meeting, most of you can't show up, maybe except Stevie Hicks, because he's right here in Pasadena with me. But everybody else, you can't make it. So we take advantage of the internet, and we have webinars where you don't even have to leave your home. You can watch it from the comfort of your home, which is great, one of the greatest things and the worst things at the same time. It's great because of convenience. We can reach far more people. We can get far more people to hop on because they don't have to leave their home. But at the same time, there's no real sacrifice there. See, back in the day when we had to get into the car and drive 2 hours to a meeting, we invested in that. We took it serious. When our technology kind of made us lazy and we can be watching TV at the same time like some of you are doing right now. Surf Facebook while Brandon's talking. I know you're doing it. You don't have our full attention. So it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Those who are serious will actually, put the effort into it. But this technology allowed me to walk off my job because out of over the 30,000 people I've had in my downlines over the years, less than 200 have been in my own neighborhood. All 90% of my team has always been in a different state than the one I'm in. So taking advantage of this technology, let's talk about grand opening. We already have 3 of them in the evenings during the week. Tuesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. Those are the money nights. Those are the nights where the most production should be taking place. Those are the nights when the majority of you should be inviting guests on to the webinars because you don't have to do any of the explaining. Somebody else is going to explain the business for you. All you have to do is be Don King. Think about it. Did Don King ever step foot in a ring? No. Yet he's made more money than all of the boxers he's promoted. Why? Because he got good at filling the seats. That was his job. He said, I'm going to make far more money by filling the seats than actually getting in the ring. So you can get in the ring with me and learn what I do, which is beneficial as well. You can master that, or you can master filling the seats in the room. You could be the worst speaker in the world. I remember back in my ACN days, my top producer in the world, her name was Glenda. She was always hitting the $1,000 a week bonuses that was taking place. Top producer, personally recruited like 60-something people in a business that cost $500 to sign up. And she never ever did a presentation. She never ever did a one-on-one. She never ever did a home meeting. And when they asked her, how are you being so successful? She said, it's simple. I just put people in front of Brandon. He does all the work. All I have to do is bring them out. That's easy. For her, it was the easiest thing in the world. She says, I don't need to learn all that stuff. I just cash my checks. Put them in front of Brandon and cash my checks. He's the money man. My sister was the same way. My sister, I had my biggest organization under her. And when they asked what was her secret, she said she just smiled at all the boys and said if they ever had a chance of talking to her, they had to come to this meeting. It worked. She used her looks to get people to come to the presentations. Then they saw the money. Oh, wow, I'm in. I remember one guy told her, well, I'm not interested in the business. I'm interested in you. She said, if you're not interested in business, you can't even talk to me. That was her game back then. But this is the game here. Grand openings. So how am I going to get my first 2 people in the business? Invite 10 people to see a presentation in 1 week. If you have 10 guests on one of the 3 webinars, doesn't have to be all 10 at one time, but maybe 3 on Tuesday, 4 on Thursday, and another 3 whatever, 4 on Sunday. But if you total 10, I guarantee you will be a star affiliate and have your 2. This is what you want to teach your team members, new team members that come on board. You need to put this business in front of 10 people, meaning at least have 10 guests on a presentation. Now I'm going to give you another example. My last company, when I first got started in it, I was at a very, very, very low point in my life. I was on a job where we just got a pink slip notice. Not that we were getting laid off, but that we might get laid off. It was March 2012. And they said that it might happen in August 2012. And we had a choice. We can either hope that they don't shut our office down, or we can make the commitment to relocate and move up to San Jose, California. Well, it's going to be cost of living was much higher than where I was here. Relocate my family, do all that, which I was not willing to do. At the same time, I was also a top recruiter or what do you call it, producer in the company I was a part of at the time. I had just hit my stride. I was close to making enough money where I was comfortable enough to walk off my job. And you know what happened? Got into a disagreement with the owner of the company because when you hit top positions of companies, sometimes you have the ability to take a good peek behind the scenes. What's going on with corporate? And I was in a position to do so. And what I saw, I knew this was not going to be here long term the way they were telling me it was going to be. Not the way my upline and the owners was talking through all the hype meetings. When I had a chance to see behind the scenes, oh, major red flags. And I called out the owner on it. And I said, look, if you don't make some changes here. I cannot promote this further. My name, reputation, and I'm looking for long-term stability. He was so afraid I was going to jump ship and take everybody with me. He terminated me on suspicion. So not only did I have a pink slip on my job, I lost my income from my network marketing company I was part of, and he refused to pay me March commissions and April's commissions. Thousands and thousands of dollars gone. Just like that. So when I joined the company, the last company, I had my back to the wall. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have time to figure it out. I didn't have time to put my toe in the water and test it to see if this is a good fit. I didn't have time to bounce it around off a couple of people I know to see what their reaction is going to be. All I knew was I have to make this happen, come hell or high water. So it was a Friday night when I got started. It was a Friday night, it's the end of March, 5 o'clock p.m. I had my first grand opening, not 2 days later, not 3 days later, 2 hours later. This is how serious I took this. I took this as a business, not a hobby. I wanted to make some money, not play around. I pulled out my network and I contacted over 200 people. I invited over 200 people to be on an important emergency conference call. It wasn't even a webinar. Conference call. Only been in the business for 2 hours. Out of the 200 people I invited, 40 showed up. And most of it was out of curiosity. Because I didn't even know what the business was all about, what it was talking about. I had a good idea, it made sense. I knew I could do it. I was in. I figured things out as I go. Out of the 40 people who showed up that night, 15 signed up in the business. So my first day in the business, I had 15 personal recruits in the business. And guess what those 15 people did? They did the same thing I did. We put our heads down and we had webinars, conference calls, invited everybody out. We didn't try to close anybody or talk to them. Hey, you need to see this business. Right? Like right now, it's hot as on wildfire. People are jumping on board. You need to see this opportunity. I made videos. By the first week, we had over 40 people on our team. First week in the business. So it went from 15 to 40. How? We were doing webinars, grand openings every day. By the end of our first 30 days, we had 137 people on our team. First 30 days in the business. If you did those numbers in Sherlock, and if it was perfectly, you'd be close to hitting global. Because if you only need 12 people to hit power, and to be a power, you need to have 12 people on your team. That's 144. If you did it perfectly like that. So if we did it that way, would have hit global in the first month of the business. I did hit the second highest position in that company. I think it was less than 60 days. Around, I think right on 60 days. But our first 60 days in the business, those 134 people turned into 512 or 507, something like that. So first 60 days in the business went from 0 to 500. Think about if you were to do that in Sherlock, how much money do you think you'd be making if you had 500 people on your team in 60 days? A lot. You would have made probably probably around $10,000 or so. Don't know how it all played out. Our 90 days, less than 90 days later, those 500 people turned into 1,000 people. And then a year and a half later, those 1,000 people turned into 6,000 people. Why? Because we did and preached grand openings. Take advantage of presentations. You would have 150, 200 people on a Tuesday or Thursday night webinar. Not 10, 15 to 30. 200. Because everybody was inviting, not sitting around, inviting all day, every day. The whole point of talking to people was to get them on the next presentation. That was the goal. Get them on the next presentation. I made $12,000 before I fully understood the compensation plan. Now, there was another person that got started at the same time as I did. And this gentleman said, well, I'm going to wait till I get this all down because I don't want to seem like I don't know what I'm talking about or ignorant when I go out there talking to people. It took him, by the time he was comfortable, it was like July. I was already at 5 figures a month before he signed up his first person because he wanted to. No, that's the urchins in the world. Nothing against urchins. Urchins end up making the most money. But good grief, sometimes you just got to put down your urchin cap and go to work. Too busy trying to figure everything out. Go to work. That's what we did. So you want to have success with Sherlock. Let's just say, for example, we forget the name Shopping Sherlock. We forget the product. We even forget the compensation plan. And all you did was focus on just this one of the ways that we get paid. The $50 cycle. For every 2 on the left and 2 on the right that pay their $2.49, you make $50. Let's just focus on that for a moment. What's the name of the company? I don't know. I just know I get paid $50 when I find 4 people that pay $2.49 on the left and right, whether you sign them up or not. That includes spillover from your upline. Some of you guys cycled because of me sponsoring people and they fell in your downline. So if you do the power of 2 and you duplicate this after 8 weeks or 8 levels deep, that's $2,000 a week. So if you're looking to say, you know, tax season is here, I'm looking forward to that $2,000 to $3,000 tax refund. How about every week be a tax refund? Here's what you do. And I swear, if we had this compensation plan in ACN, oh man, we would have killed it. We don't need 3, just 2. We don't have to pay $500, just $249. Oh, we would have destroyed it back then with this compensation plan. And when people really start to figure this thing out, they're going like, why didn't I take this more seriously earlier? So you're in the business. You take advantage of the grand opening. And you hit star affiliate. Now here's the next most important thing to do. And this is where I think in my organization we drop the ball a lot. After the initial people sign up, they don't duplicate. They don't have a grand opening. They don't invite guests. And in turn, they don't enroll anybody in the business. 2 to 3 months later, you never hear from them again. They're gone. It's not like I wasn't telling them what to do. They just didn't plug in, just didn't do it. So the hardest part is the duplication after the fact. When you bring somebody in and you help them to duplicate to get theirs. And then what you do as a leader, this is called tap rooting. You always keep yourself at the bottom of the organization. I act like the sponsor of the last person who joined the business, even though I didn't sponsor them. I act as if I am your sponsor. Give me a good example. Well, I did sponsor them, like David Duhamel, for example. His star affiliate, first week in business. David out of Florida. I sponsored him, but because of the spillover, he fell on my, I think it was 48th or 49th level, which means there's 47 people above David that's going to benefit off everything David does. A lot of them don't even know it. That's just the power of the compensation plan. But David enrolled people into the business. Fall on my 49th, 50th, 51 level, whatever. And I make sure that I reach out to them. I'm accessible. I act as their sponsor. Anything that they need, I'm there for. You know why? Because in our compensation plan, we get paid the same amount. I get paid the same amount from the person that I enroll as somebody that's on my 100th level. Remember, we get paid to infinity. I've been in companies before where I've seen leaders, when somebody, this really blew my mind. It really turned me off in one company I was at. And this one big shot leader, he walked into the room like they need to roll out the red carpet for him because he's making 40 grand a month. And somebody approached him on his team and asked, can I have 5 minutes? I just want to ask you some questions. And the first thing the guy says, who's your upline? Who's your sponsor? So he told him, he thought about it. He says, oh yeah, well, there's like, 4 RVPs between me and you. You need to go talk to your upline RVP first. And then turned around and walked away. And the reason he did that was because he wasn't getting paid on that individual. He capped out on that organization because there was like 3 or 4 other RVPs between him and that person. So since he wasn't really going to get paid off of them, he kind of turned around and walked away. And I said to myself, I will never, ever be that way. Even in my last company where I only got paid 7 levels deep, 4,000 of my people were below my 7th level. In fact, some of my biggest producers were below my 7th level that I did not get paid on. And I made sure that I was available for all them because I knew if they're making money, then the people above them making money that I am getting paid on. That's how I always looked at things. The more people you help, the more you help yourself. But in our compensation plan, you're actually being compensated for helping everybody on your team, no matter if it's your weak side or your strong side. When you're a global and a diamond, weak and strong side doesn't really matter. You're getting a 20% check match on both sides. 50% of your income's coming from that. You want them to cycle more than yourself. If you're getting 20% on somebody on your strong side and they're blowing it up, great. That's what I love about our comp plan. So you want to spend the time developing the people that your people enroll in the business. And then whoever they enroll in the business. And whoever they enroll in the business. Help them to get there too. And at the end of 8 weeks, look, you only have 256 people on your team. And I say only, some of you are, wow, that's a whole lot of people. To me, that's nothing. 256 people, and that keeps duplicating. You're talking about $2 grand a week? What? 8 grand a month? That's just starting your momentum. So you take advantage of the grand openings. Now let's go over one of the scripts. Do I have this script here on these slides? Let me see. Yes. Let's go over. Did I update this? This is a customer script. This is not the business script. The business script is almost exactly the same. I just change it up a bit. But I'll go over a script with you and I'll change this to the business side because that's all I did. Let's say you're talking to people that you know. People that you know. Wait a minute. Oh, I did screen share last time. That's why I was able to show. I don't want to mess with that tonight. Might get thrown off. So let's go over this real quick. Then I want to show you some more numbers. Could you do me a huge favor? This is for people that you know. You may on your list. I just got started in my own home-based business and I'm working on getting promoted. Could you please help me out? Take a look at this 5-minute video and let me know if you know anybody who would be interested. Now, you see what I did there? I didn't ask them if they are open for a business opportunity. I didn't ask them if they want to join my business. I'm asking them for help. If they know anybody who might be interested in this. But in an effort for them to help me, they must know what I'm doing. So in essence, I'm showing them the business without them realizing I'm showing them the business. See, people like to buy, they don't like to be sold. Put the car in front of them and let them buy it. That's why when you go to a car dealership, you're going there with one purpose, then you walk in the showroom and you see the convertible. And then the salesman says, yeah, I know you're not here for that, but hey, since while you're here, go ahead and take a seat in it. Go ahead, go ahead. How often is it that you get to sit in a car like this? You might see in a parking lot somewhere. Go ahead, sit in it. Nobody knows. There's a reason why that. Product placement. Just like when you go in grocery stores or malls. You're not, the products that they place where you can see is not what you're going in to buy, but you end up walking out with it because you say, oh wow, oh, I need that. Why do you think in grocery stores they put eggs and milk and cheese all in the back corner of the store? You have to walk through real estate just to get to the milk because that's one of the number one products that people are going to buy on a regular. They want you walking past all of the other products that you're not there to buy because by looking at it, oh yeah, I want that. Product placement. That's all you're doing. Product placement. Psychology here. Because when they see it, then after they see the video, hey, so do you know anyone who might like that? They say, yeah, me. Tell me more. It's a completely different response than if you were to tell them, hey, listen, I got started in my own business. I'm going to get rich. You need to take a look at this as well. Watch this video. The answer is automatically going to be no, 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 not interested. You didn't even see the video. No, that's right. You've been in a lot of these things. I'm not trying to hear it. Well, you was in that one thing last year. No, you didn't make any money. So don't try to get your friends and family in the business. In fact, I was telling another person this the other day. I've been in this industry for so long, I don't have a warm market. I never go to my friends and family about business. They're not, if my friends and family were going to make me rich, we'd already be rich. They're never going to get me to where I want to be. Yeah, I may great their support, but I don't need to talk to them. However, if you're brand new, you're getting started, use them for practice. At least give them the opportunity to see what you're doing. So when you do make it, they can never say, you never told me this. You knew the situation I was in my life at that time. I would have jumped on board with you. No, you wouldn't have. I had a cousin that told me, I remember the time I got, was it $27,000, $28,000 check, and I was showing off to my dad. And the reason I was showing off to my dad, because my dad was the one who was completely against me being in network marketing, wanted me to go to law school and all that good stuff. And my cousin was there. And my cousin was like, you gotta be kidding me. What in the world are you doing? And I said, oh yeah, remember that phone thing you said that you didn't work? You never told me about it. Yes, I did. You said it wasn't gonna work. And not only that, you told other people, other family members, not to listen to me and try to make fun of me. Oh man, you know I was just playing. I was just playing around. You know, if you really came to me and showed me what was going on, I'd be down with you. No, you wouldn't. Get out of here. But at least I gave him the opportunity to say no. So he couldn't use that excuse that I was being selfish and didn't want to share it with anybody. Here's the number 2 way. Again, this is for friends and family. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought anything online before? What if I could show you how to get paid by giving away a free app that's going to save people money every time they shop? Who do you know that would love to get paid doing that? Again, I'm not trying to prospect them. Who do you know? Taprooting. I'm going to give you another inside secret to our industry, and you'd be hard pressed to find this not to be true. Most of the top earners in our industry, when you look at their organizations and you look at the type of money that they're making, 9 times out of 10, their top producers are not the people they personally enrolled. They're not. It's always somebody that's 4, 5, 6 levels down. The sweet spot's about 5, 6, 7 levels down. That's the individual that's going to end up making you the most money. Don't ask me why. There is psychology to that. I don't have time to get into that tonight. That's just the way it is, unless you're already at the top. Okay, that's the exception to the rule. So don't worry, David. I sponsored David. David, you can still be the number one. Don't worry about that. Or any of the other guys on you. You know, I'm your sponsor. However, when you first get started, the people you enroll when you first get started and you're not at the top probably will not be there with you if you stick with the program. They're not going to be the ones that's going to get you to the mountaintop. So you always want to tap roots. You're not the one, find the person who is. If it's not the second one, find the third person. Who can they lead you to? That's how it works. Dino Crawley, who overrides Japan, I'm his upline. Dino, I work with Dino like I'm his sponsor. Dino is 20 levels below me. That's how it works. I have another superstar in Poland. He's on my 60th level that I work like I'm his sponsor. Taproot. Who do you know that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone? Now here's the third way, and this is for people that you don't know at all. Hey, listen, I'm gonna do you a huge favor. Say what? You gonna hook me up? Yeah, I'm gonna do you a huge favor. I'm gonna show you how to get paid by giving away a free app. How does that sound? What? What? We'll say what? Yeah, I'm gonna show you how to get paid giving away a free app. And I said free. You don't have to sell anything. How's that work? You got to watch this video. I'm going to put you on the line with one of the top leaders. You got to come out to one of our webinar presentations. The more people you talk to, the more money you make. That's the bottom line. Three-way calls. No, do not. Oh, my computer. Okay, later. My computer just popped up saying, save your work. It's about to do a scheduled restart. No, always when I'm in the middle of a presentation. So the more three ways you're doing and the more people you're inviting to webinars, the more money you make. That's the bottom line. So I already showed you the comp plan as far as Power of 2. Let me show you just by giving away the apps. If this is all you did, you invited, I didn't say you got downloads, you just invited 200 people to download the app. And you were the worst one out there where you never followed up with anybody. You never actually showed them the power of it. You just invited 200 people. 10% of those 200 download the app. That's 20 downloads. But guess what? All of those apps allow those individuals to also invite people to use the app. And why would they? Well, why would somebody, you go to a good movie, do you tell other people about it? If you go to a good restaurant, do you tell others about it? Yeah, we share stuff all the time that we like. It's more like brag. Hey, guess where I was last night? Yeah, you should go there too. I was first though. It's human nature to share things that we like. Somebody says $400 using the Sherlock app. You don't think they're going to tell people about it? They will. And we're making it even better because we're launching our loyalty program, which is going to gamify the app. We're going to make the app so intriguing that people want it over and over again, even if they're not just shopping online. Okay? That's what we're leading to. They're going to be rewarded for inviting people. And the reward is going to be special discounts, special coupons, special deals. So we're going to tell them, hey, listen, if you invite 200 people you know, we're going to give you a special deal. So we're going to incentivize our customers to invite 200 people. While I'm doing this, I'm going to look for, I made a video that I want you guys to see. So while I'm talking, I'm going to pull up this video. I hope I can remember what I titled it, where I put it on YouTube. But I just want to go through this. So you imagine your customer is now giving it away to 200 people. So those 20 customers that you have, 4% of 400 downloads. 400 downloads. It starts to add up real quickly, doesn't it? Give me a second. I'm still trying to pull this up. Now, those 4,000 downloads do the same thing. They're like, wow, I want that deal. I'm going to invite 200 people on my phone list. They also invite 200 people to invite. You're now looking at 80,000 invites. Now, it may be mind-boggling for some of you. How do you think Facebook got so big? How do you think WhatsApp got so big? How do you think Twitter, MySpace, all the others, where it doesn't cost you money to join, and they weren't spending any advertising dollars advertising their app? How did it get so big? Word of mouth marketing. You look at, if you're familiar with the business called Rippling. Some of you may remember that business. Rippling in 4 months put in over 1 million. 1 million. It's mind-boggling. Download for the app, their app. In fact, we're using the same system that Rippling did. We hired the guy who created that the marketing capture page system. It's the same. So, no, it's not it. So if they can do 1 million in that short span of time, imagine what you can do when this keeps going. So if we do the numbers again, those 8,000 invites, only 10% download. I'm being conservative here. That means you have 8,000 downloads. Are you kidding me? 8,000 downloads. Now, not all of them are going to be actively using it, but always you will have a small percent of those who do use it. Okay, I want to stop talking for just 15 seconds so I can concentrate and pull this thing up. I'm scrolling too fast here. This is a very, very powerful, the small business platform is coming. I know I did that one. Sherlock customer acquisition. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Let me pull up this video. You might think this is a familiar video. I haven't advertised this much. It is our Sherlock mobile app video, but I sliced and cut something into it. Let's see if you can pick up on what was added to this video. Take a look.
You buy things, right? Have you ever wondered if you're getting the best price? Because we have so many options and where we shop, 97% of us use the internet to compare the price of a product or service before actually buying it. More and more people are starting to use their mobile devices instead of their computer or laptop. With millions of apps on the market, imagine one app that will help you with all of your online buying needs. Introducing Shopping Sherlock, the revolutionary new app which helps you get unbelievable prices on anything you might be looking for. Let's say you're looking for a new gift for your friend, or when you're going on a trip you need to get your flights and hotels booked. Perhaps you want to check out restaurant deals or daily deals in your city. Or maybe you just want to see who's offering deals and discounts right now wherever you are. That's what Sherlock does, and it is absolutely free. You can also share this free app with friends and family and get paid for sharing. We already share apps like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter without any rewards. Now, you can actually get paid by just sharing the Shopping Sherlock app. Share the app with friends and family and watch how far your influence goes through our worldwide tracking system.
So the question is, would you push the button and invite your friends? If you said yes, allow me to show you how viral this concept can be. Let's assume you invited 200 friends and 10% of them downloaded our mobile app. That's 20 people who now have our app. If those 20 people click the button to invite their 200 friends, that's 4,000 invites. If 10% download, that's 400 people with our mobile app. If you continue this process 2 more times, 160,000 people will have downloaded our mobile app. And if any of these people buy anything, that can be a potential payday
The
for
Sherlock
you.
app will be your personal shopping assistant, and you'll never leave home without it. Don't Google it, Sherlock it for the best prices and deals. Install the app now on any iPhone or Android device and start saving today.
All right. You guys see it? Did you see it? Did you miss it? I actually forgot about that video until I was doing this training right now. Here is the link to that video. It's going over exactly what I'm talking about right now. Let's look at what happens in the Sherlock compensation plan during those numbers. Okay. If you had 2 active apps, remember, because they're based off of 20 downloads, and out of those 20 downloads, let's say again, only 10% of those 20 are actively using it. That's $4.40. That was when the Sherlock was worth $2.20. Right now it's at $2.32 when I made this video. I need to change these numbers. $4.40, not a lot of money, right? But let's say remember those 20 downloads, 4,000 invites, 10% of them download the app, that's 400. 10% of those 400 people that downloaded it are actively using it on a monthly basis, so that's 40. You have 40 active Sherlockers. That's $88 a month. Still not a whole lot of money. But those 400 also invite 200 each. So you now have 8,000 downloads. Out of 8,000 downloads, only 10% of those are active. So you have 800 active Sherlockers. Now we're talking some money here. $1,760 a month. But let's keep it going. Let's say you had 16,000 Sherlockers from those 8,000 people sharing it with 200 people each. 16,000 Sherlockers. That's $35,000 a month on a product that you gave away for free to just 200 invites. Now, numbers are perfect. People are not. It will never work out this way. This is the same formula that corporate America does when they do advertising. When they decide to spend $40 million for a 30-second commercial on the Super Bowl, it is not guaranteeing them any money. All they know is that 170 million people saw their commercial, and a small percentage of that 170 million people will actually buy their product. 90% of them will not. In fact, 97% of the people who saw the commercial will not. They know at least 2 to 5% of whoever sees their commercial is going to be a customer. And that 2 to 5% equates to millions and millions of dollars. So if we use the same concept, if just 10% of people that we give the app away to are actively using it, it's just a numbers game. 16,000 active reps, $35,000 a month. Anytime you want to raise, go get more downloads. You guys are you following me here? Are you following the power of what if the Sherlock is worth $5 per customer or $10 per customer? Nobody knows who we are yet. But when this thing starts to go viral, it starts to take off. When people start to fully understand online shopping, and then after they understand online shopping, they want more savings, and the Sherlock's going to help them do that. When they start to understand that, see, this is about being trailblazers right now. Got that right, Farmer John. You don't have to spend $4 million to get off 3%. Especially those of you who understand the small business platform. When Groupon did $6 billion last year. $6 billion. What if we just had a percentage of the market penetration? What if we just had 10% market penetration? $100 million. $100 million company. And ours is free. You got to have vision here, ladies and gentlemen. People say, Brandon, why are you still in Sherlock? All the other people that started with you last year, when they quit and they joined this company and that company, you're still there. Why? Because I am a visionary. I'm looking down the road. I don't want to be jumping around. I want to be with the company. I'm 38 years old. I still want to be here when I'm 58. Drawing a check, showing up to conventions 4 times a year. The rest of the time I'm on a beach. That's why I'm still here. $1 trillion industry growing at $200 billion a year, and I'm going to go sell juice and products and all that other stuff? You must be out of your mind. Nobody's doing what we're doing, and we're worldwide. We're in every single country. You want to know why Holton Bugs is making $1 million a month? Because he overrides Germany and Asia and Russia. What if you overrode a country? Everybody has that position right now. You've got to have vision. Michael Weeder has vision. He's looking, his vision is so big, he is not willing. He could do some crazy things right now with the company, with our marketing, with hype. He could do that just like all these other hype companies are. But he's not willing to sacrifice our long-term for short-term gain in hype. We're doing this the right way. If that means we don't, have the explosive immediate growth in the United States because all the other Americans are on the hype companies, so be it. He even told me there's certain people he won't even allow to be in our business. We have the luxury of being selective. We don't need everybody. We don't want everybody. We have a certain culture that we are building with Shopping Sherlock for us to be a legacy company, not a one-time flash in the pan. And that, ladies and gentlemen, well, I need to say this since I talked about money. All references to income implied or stated in this document in the Shopping Sherlock comp plan does not guarantee any level of income or earnings to any affiliate. Earnings from the Shopping Sherlock comp plan depend solely on web app usage, sales, and each affiliate's skill, ability, and personal application. And I'm going to end tonight a video that I made. Was this today? I think I made this. No, yesterday. I made this yesterday. And it's called Finish What You Start. 90% reason why most people fail is because they don't finish what they begin. That's the key. People tell me all the time, Brandon, is your success because you had a list? Because you had a team to bring with you? Well, what's the secret? You know what my secret is? Consistency. I believe, like Will Smith said, if me and you get on a treadmill, 2 things are going to happen. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to die trying. That's it. Consistency. Not only do I show up to everything, I'm the one doing the presentations and webinars and 3-way calls and all that stuff. The program that you see right now, our schedule, has been the same for the last 5 years. Who's willing to do that on a consistent basis? And in this video, you're going to see how people weren't able to do 23 days consistently. And that's why most people fail in network marketing. Not because the industry is bad, not because the company is bad. Really, at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with the company. Your success. Whether you can have a long-term residual income does, but your success doesn't. If you have the right skills, you'll be successful in any business that you join. It's just a matter of, will the business be successful for you? Will they be able to keep the wheels going? You can put me in any business out there and I'll have the same type of success I'm having here. So let me show you this video so you have a visual understanding of why it's so important that you show up and how everybody else fails at this. And if you didn't, if you stuck through it, how far ahead of the game you will be from everybody else just by showing up. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Tomorrow we have our team call. We didn't have one last week because of the Super Bowl. We have our team call at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and then we have our live webinar presentation with Diamond Chuck Williams. I'll probably be speaking on that as well. And I'm going to send out an email. There's a new link for that, so I'll send out an email tomorrow morning with that link. Invite guests to it. That's a grand opening. Whoever has 5 guests on, you're going to have 2 people in your business tomorrow. And then you teach those two new people how to have their grand opening, because the next webinar will be on Tuesday. Invite 5 people on the Tuesday night. 2 people will sign up. You have those 2 people say, hey, listen, you just got started. There's going to be a next presentation 48 hours from now, Thursday night. Invite 5 people Thursday night. They're going to be a star affiliate. Look at your team now, how it's growing. You have 10 people on your team your first week. You only enroll 2. And you keep it going. You keep it going. We want to have 50, 100, 500 people on our presentations over the next few months. That's how you get to 5 figures a month. Compress your time. You can go 1 year and invite 10 people, or you can go 1 week and invite 10 people. You're going to make the same money. It's just how fast will you make it? You want to make it over the course of a year or in 1 week? Compress your time frame. So here's the video. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a pleasure tonight. Go eat my dinner. God bless and have a good weekend. Bye-bye. All right, hello everybody. My name is Brandon Ivey, and welcome to the Brandon Ivey Show with a new tip of the day. And this tip of the day is finish what you start. This is one of the biggest secrets to success that I have ever learned from my mentors over the past. And speaking of mentors, I happen to be on Facebook today, like I am every day, and I saw a post by Robert Hollis. And if you don't know who Robert Hollis is, he is a giant in the industry of network marketing. He's currently the #1 money earner and the top producer in Gano Life right now, coffee company. And I first, he's a 7-figure earner. He earns 6 figures a month. And I first met Robert Hollis when I first got started in network marketing back in, it was probably when I met him was 1999 in a company I was in called ACN. And at the time he was a regional vice president. I don't remember if he was Circle of Champions member or not, but he was one of the top money earners and top producers in ACN. And over the years, Robert has actually been the top producer in everything that he's done. Now, one thing that I always like to do is keep an eye on the top producers in our industry, no matter what company they're in, because success leaves clues. If you watch people long enough, you tend to see, habits that present themselves. If you watch somebody from a short period of time, you don't necessarily get to see, their habits. But when you watch it for a long enough period of time, and I've been in this industry for over 16 years now, and I see the same details of these people over and over and over again. Like I say, success leaves clues. In his post that he did today, he said, people ask me, why do people fail? And he said, because most never start or finish. Mentorship program, click on the image, see how people don't finish. Are you one of them? So, of course, curiosity. I clicked on the image, right? And let me pull up. Maybe I'll be able to zoom in here for you to see. Now, Robert, like most top leaders in the industry do, is we love to put on a training series. We love to tell our secrets. What's the one thing that I love about network marketing? If you want to know the secrets and you want to know the success steps, it's easy to find out. They're not being kept hidden from you. The top leaders are willing to teach you. The problem is most people never even start. That's why they fail. And the ones who do start, 99% of them don't finish what they start. So everything else, all the lessons in between, doesn't mean anything because people never even go through the process of learning. They don't show up. I always heard that 80% of the battle was showing up. People say to me all the time, I wish I signed that superstar up in my business. I wish I got started at the beginning like you did. I wish this, I wish that. And I tell them, I say, none of that happened. You have no control over any of that. You have control over what you personally do. That is what you have control over. It's like most people never get that. But what do you have control over? You have control over showing up. And my Skype is blowing me up. You have control over showing up. That's one thing that most people don't get and they don't understand. Okay, this is not cooperating mental. Do not disturb. So, and here's a lesson I want you to learn here. And this is, I guarantee, most people who see this miss this. Now, when I look at what Robert Hollis was doing here, he had a training series going on. Day one, all the way, it's like 23 days total. 23 days. Every day was a new lesson. Now, let's look at some of these lessons. If they can do it, you can do it. Taking fast action. Your time to take control. Fast start. Expert from afar. You are a winner. Get your pop. Art of sorting. Is fear stopping you? Get them results. Master the mundane. Master something. Time. Will it be worth it? You want the following. Master your tools. Momentum. Find gold and diamonds. Phase 1. Do you know you? Personalities. Relationship marketing. People business. 7 steps to an effective presentation. Understand marketing. Measure results. Commit to a better you. Effective presentation. Steps to success. You need a game plan. And then the last 2, probably the most important out of this whole list. Ask Robert anything. Questions and answers. Ask Robert Hollis anything. Now, these are gold mines right here. But to get to these gold mines, you got to show up each day, right? But I'm going to tell you the biggest lesson of them all. And it's something Robert knows. It's not this information. This is not the secret. The secret is who could last all the way to the 23 days. Because if you last through the 23 days, you're going to get all of this information by default. It's not about can you understand any of this or master this. It's can you show up to learn it. Let's look at day 1. 301 people. Let's look at day 23. 3. So out of 301 people, at the end, 3 people actually went through the whole process. That's why 97% of people who start anything fail and 3% have success. Are the 3% smarter than you? Are the 3% just, have more natural talent than you? Are the 3%, did they get started before you? Did they get lucky to sign up the right person before you? No. They finished what they started. I have, with my own team, accountability groups. And it amazes me. Always on the day 1, I always tell people, look, guys, I do this full time from home. I walked off my job. I'm a 6-figure earner. If you want to have that type of lifestyle, I'm willing to teach it. But here's the catch. You got to show up. And most people say they want it. They want this. They want better life. They want, the financial freedom and the success. They want to live the lifestyle of a Robert Hollis. But they're not even willing to show up. If you can master and have discipline to control the things you can control, like showing up, everything else will happen by default. All of these topics that Robert Hollis teaches on, you will learn by default by showing up. Can you show up for 23 days? Without even having to ask him, I know why he does it this way, because once you do so, you develop a habit. See, guys like Robert, not only can they show up for 23 days, but they can commit to actually doing the training for 23 days, while most of you can't even show up and just listen. What's one of my keys to success? Not the fact that I can speak good, not the fact that I've mastered the art of presenting, not the fact that I've mastered personality traits and everything else that Robert and all the other top leaders in the industry have taught me. It's the fact that I've been able to be consistent enough to do the same mundane things over and over and over again when I don't see the immediate results. There's the key right there. Most people, if they don't see results in 2 to 3 days, they give up, quit, jump ship, and go see where they think the grass is greener somewhere else. They're not able to be in something long enough to keep watering that seed, even when they don't see immediate results. It's like going to the gym. You don't see results in your first week or 2 weeks. It takes time. But you have to be consistent to keep doing it and have the faith that it's going to happen even when you don't see the results. Most people are not wired to do that. It's not taught in school. It's a strong enough desire to want more than what you have, and you making the choice that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. And if somebody tells me I need to show up for 23 days consistently, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So when you look at the Robert Hollises, you look at all the top leaders in their industry, the Holton Buggs, even the internet marketers, the Cedric Harrises. You look at these guys, they have mastered the art of consistency and duplication during times where they don't see the results, because they know at the back end what the results are going to be. So if you want to know the whole secret of success, it's not all of these topics that Robert is teaching on. This is the process of it that you will learn eventually. It's the fact that you can actually show up and do something on a consistent basis long enough until you start to see the results. That's it. That's the tip of the day. My name is Brandon Ivey. Thank you, Robert Hollis, for teaching this lesson for those today. You don't have to be in the same company to learn from somebody who's already where you want to be. My name is Brandon Ivey. God bless. Have a great day. Bye-bye.